40,000 miles. I honestly cannot believe my car has made it this far. I'm just ready for it to blow up anytime now. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. Knock on wood. I know there are way more people that have driven way more miles than me and they're completely fine. But for me, I had a few hiccups and problems along this 40,000 mile journey. So I wasn't much of a believer and I didn't have as much faith as I could have. But as of right now, everything on the car is fine. In my last video, I was doing pulls in Mexico and it was pulling hard. Everything was connecting, it was boosting. So fingers crossed, and here's to 40,000 more miles. So here's kind of like my review and my thoughts building off from my last 30,000 miles. So from 30,000 miles to 40,000 miles. And before we start, I have to say this, it's in the script, so I have to. And it's YouTube rule, so I'm sorry. But if at any moment you ha-ha'd or hee-heed or hoo-hooed, feel free to let me know by dropping a like. It really helps me more than you think. And if you're part of the 90% that aren't subscribed, what's good with you? Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, what's good with you? Nah, I'm just kidding. But subscribe if you want to, subscribe if you don't. But the goal is 10K, and if we reach that by the holidays, I was thinking of maybe doing a, I don't know, like a multiple part giveaway as kind of like a Christmas giveaway type of thing. I don't know. We'll see. So first things first, here are the mods and parts on my car. So feel free to pause this screen and look through it or read through it first. Overall, this car really has been through it all. It has been driven in good roads, bad roads, off roads, driven from anywhere from 800 RPM traffic to 8,000 RPM full send. Does the car even go up to 8,000 RPM? I've driven full capacity 5 people in it, moved furniture, driven people that weighed as much as furniture. So I really think it's been the whole embodiment of a daily driver. This car literally has been through it all. It's been dinged, scratched, bumped,
and bumped back because I ain't no bitch.
Which at the same time, I mean, that's what it's meant for. Like, I wanted a car that can do it all, and this car has done it all. And I wasn't really like a fan of sedans, so that's why I got a hatchback to get the extra room, but at the same time still be fun when it needs to. And this car really has been all that. So I am really happy that it made it to 40,000 miles and it's still super daily drivable and still pulls hard when it needs to. And that really is great for a daily driver. Couldn't ask for more. Maybe not a failing water pump and thermostat, that would be nice. Maybe not all the rattles either, that would be kind of nice. And also maybe, well, not me personally, but maybe not a leaky sunroof, that would have been kind of nice. Maybe not all the recalls, I guess that's also that would be kind of nice. So the first part, real quick, let me just get out the way, is maintenance. I change my oil at every 5,000 miles with Liquide Mali. I buy it from FCP Europe because they have the lifetime warranty program where it's like if your old part breaks, they'll replace it, and then or you buy it and they'll send you back the money, something like that. I don't know, go read the fine print, but basically they will give you back the money for the oil you buy if you buy another oil. I don't know the specifics of it. I don't know how they're making money. I don't care if I'm getting 50 bucks back and getting free oil and just pay like 20 bucks for shipping the old oil back. I'm all for it. I also changed my Sparky Boy plugs and my DSG oil at 35,000 miles, and when I pulled them out, I mean when Lexi pulled them out, they said my spark plugs were fine. Those were the OEM ones that I got from the factory when I first came with the car. 35,000 miles that has been run on JB4, catalyst downpipe, stage 2 for a little bit, and then stage 1. And she said it was fine, and I didn't really need to change them, but it didn't hurt. I changed them with OEM Sparky Boys, gapped at 0.24, and my DSG oil, I changed them with Penstone. I was gonna use OEM, but people say the OEM oil is just rebranded Penstone anyways, and that saved me like 30 bucks. And I also recently changed my OEM battery, which I've had on since I got the car. So it's been like 4 years and 30,000 miles, and it was still cranking, but just really slowly, and I could tell it was dying because in my parking mode on my dash cam was dying way quicker than it should. So I'm like, it's time to change. It's made it 4 years. It's about time. And I didn't go with any special battery. It's just, I think I used like Champion that I got from Pep Boys. And then I also coded the battery to change the amps and stuff with the new battery. If you want to look into that, I followed Stealth GTI's video on the battery, which was really helpful. So check it out like right here. And lastly, finally, I changed my OEM tires from the all-season Bridgestones. They were like 3 of them were plugged. They were dry rotting and like so many issues. I was like, all right, I'll change my tire, because I was trying to see how long they would last, but it's been 4 years and like 30,000 miles. So I was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna just change them. I changed them with the Goodyear Ego F1 Sports, I believe that's the full name. They're all season. I just went with the OEM diameter 225 40 18. And before some of you go,
Oh my god, why didn't you use Continental TWS06? Oh my god, Michelin Pilot Sport A3 SSR.
All right, listen here. I'm stuck in traffic like 80% of the time, going less than like 30 miles per hour. How much grip do I need? And in New York, there's like stoplight after stoplight after stoplight, like every 30 feet. So like, how much power or grip do I need to go from one stoplight to the next? I mean, of course, I would love those tires, but budget-wise and like usability-wise, I'm pretty sure I would never push them to like the full limit if I got the Continentals, although I really wanted them. But we didn't even get snow for like the last 3 winters. So I mean, I don't even need all that grip. So overall on the surface, not worth it for me. And the Ego F1 Sports have like a thread life of like 50,000 miles. If it lasts 50,000 miles from when I got them, that's like another 80,000 miles of my car. That's the least of my concern, that my tires will last that long. I'm hoping my turbo and my engine and my water pumps and all that stuff will last that long too. And if it does make it that long, that car belongs in like a shelf or a museum. So now moving on to the best part, the problems with the car. So I'll rank them from, this is kind of important, to meh. I like the view. You're my best view. Meh. Alright, that definitely deserves a like of the smash button if you know where that's from. So this only started recently, but it has been vibrating more than it should on idle. Mostly when it first cold starts, and then after like I've driven around and warmed the engine up and everything, it vibrates less, but it's still vibrating more than before. But keep in mind, at the same time, no check engine lights, no EPCs, the RPMs don't jump, don't flutter. And I only recently changed my spark plugs. So I have a few ideas of what might be causing this problem. The first one being carbon buildup. I mean, 40,000 miles, I guess it makes sense. But at the same time, I have friends that have like over 100,000 miles and they've never gotten a carbon cleaning and the car's been fine. And I think it's recommended to check it at like 50 or 60,000 miles. So, you know, I don't want to rush into it and just spend like $500 for a carbon cleaning and it doesn't resolve the problem. But also everybody that I've talked to that got a carbon cleaning, they said their car runs way smoother. So I might just do it anyways. But at the same time, I've talked to someone that they said they've had their car vibrating since like 20,000 miles and they changed their spark plugs, tune, coil packs, and everything else in between, and it still vibrates. So he was just like, these cars might just have a harsh vibration and still no lights, no EPC, nothing, but still changes the spark plugs, coils every like 10k miles or something, and his car still vibrates harshly, but everything else is fine with it. So I might just leave it. I mean, but recently, you know, to try to help mitigate this problem, I've been trying to do the Italian tune-up and just been full sending it everywhere to maybe burn some carbon off. I mean, I don't know if it's working because it's still vibrating, but it gives me an excuse to full send. So my second idea of what might be causing this would be the spark plugs and the coils. But then again, I'm not even pushing that much power and I'm not even sending it that much all the time. And again, no EPC lights, no check engine lights. So probably not likely, but it could be, but not likely. My third idea of what might be causing this might be a mount broke, like an engine mount or something broke. I've yet to gone under the car and check like all my mounts and stuff. So, and the fourth idea, also kind of unlikely, is it because of my muffler delete, because of the rust, because where my muffler delete, my welds are welded back, the points that meet, they're kind of super rusted. So maybe like the more parts of the metal fall off and now the sound comes out uneven, and that's why it's vibrating more, because I feel it more from the rear than the front. So could it be that? That was like my biggest concern of a problem. My second one is coolant related. So I'm trying to keep an eye out for my thermostat and then my little piece behind the turbo where I got it replaced. I don't know what it's exactly called, but I made a video on it so you can check it out here. But I'm trying to pay attention to make sure nothing else leaks, because apparently the water pump, you know, there's like so many revisions of it, the thermostat water pump, so many revisions that I don't know if I have, you know, a bad revision that they made another one that's even better. And the reason why I want to keep an eye out on it, and if it'll happen now, because I'm still under 50,000 mile you know, powertrain warranty. Even though I'm tuned, technically if those things fail, it should still be covered. So I'm, you know, having my fingers crossed. And I think the dealership I go to is mod friendly, because I've heard stories of people getting rejected for the thermostat you know, warranty because of a downpipe or something. And I had a downpipe when I first went to get it done and they fixed it. but now I have it tuned, so I don't know, hopefully they'll still be just as nice. Those are the main problems I'm really concerned about, just because if it's out of warranty or if I pay out of pocket, it's
Probably gonna be a fuck ton.
but these next things are kind of more like annoyances than problems. The first one being my window switch. For some reason, my driver's side window switch, the automatic feature, if you press it all the way down or up, it's automatic, right? Once in a while, it just won't do that, and I have to hold the switch up in the up position for like 10 seconds to restart the switch, and that happens like occasionally, like way more than it should. I don't know if that's because it's getting hotter, and somebody told me, oh yeah, that happens to my car too when it's hot. So I don't know if it's because it's getting hotter or what, or if it's broken. But the switch, the window switch still goes up and down. It's just the automatic feature doesn't work all the time, and I have to hold it up and just reset the switch, and then it'll work again. But it happens way more often than it should. And my next not so big problem is my driver's side of my DRL, because I have aftermarket headlights, the Edge replicas. My driver's side inner DRL isn't as bright as all the rest of them. Now I've contacted Ed about this. It was a while ago, because this did happen a while ago, and he said just switch the LED boards from one side to the next if it still happens, and it was still happening. And I think he gave me some other solutions, or he was like he had to get back to me or something, and I never really pursued the case, because I mean I didn't really want to go through the process of removing it and then sending it back to him for it to examine. So I might just get Mark 7.5 headlights in the future. And lastly, I have like 2 bent wheels on my rear. I thought these Austins were indestructible, but then again, I gotta give them credit because they've been through the pottiest of potholes and they still work. So yeah. So the last part of this video, future plans. I don't really have that many plans for it, so it's relatively short because I'm pretty content with the car. The main one is I might get back a catalyst downpipe just to go back to stage 2. Not really for the performance, kind of more like I want the pops and crackles again. I have the files on my Unitronic cable, so it's just a matter of me getting a downpipe and I'll just re-upload it again. On kind of a side note, I was reading that, somebody said Unitronic now developed a way for you to turn the pops and crackles on and off, kind of like the other company that begins with the A. So I was super curious about that. I emailed them and they said no, that does not exist. So I don't know what some of you guys are talking about. For me, when I had my stage 2, even though it was in driving regular automatic mode, it would still occasionally do a pretty loud pop, but that might be because I had a catalyst downpipe. And building off from the last plan, I'm just trying to get back a stock catback, because just to prepare for my catalyst downpipe, because catalyst downpipe with a stock catback, that's kind of like, in my opinion, the best sounding car. My friend Harry had that and it sounded pretty good. It was a good combination of loudness and non-droneness. So yeah, I'm in the process of looking for a stock exhaust. It's just the problem is it's one piece, so I can't even move it anywhere. If I buy it from someone, it doesn't fit in the GTI, so I might just have to install it wherever I buy it from. And this only came up recently, like 3 days ago. I kind of want a forged blow-off valve. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, because people are saying like, oh, your turbo, it loses performance if you put a blow-off valve. Is it supposed to recirculate? But I mean, now I'm just like, I mean, I don't really care that much about getting the peak performance. It's just, I know even with a blow-off valve, it's gonna have more performance than normal, and now I'm happy with that. Kind of want the noise because it's obnoxious, but I really thought the install would just be like, you install this part and that's it. But I was watching the install video and it was like, no, you have to route this. I'm like, nah, after that, nah, I don't want to deal with this. And lastly is IS38. I mean, I had plans to go IS38 obviously, but now given like, how much my car has been through, I'm like, is it really worth dropping the money for the hardware and the software for their IS38? I might just end up trading it in for something else in the near future, so we'll see. A Supra. I'm so glad and amazed that my car made it this far with as few hiccups as it could have. I mean, it really could have been a lot worse. And on some final notes, if you're thinking of getting some enamel pins, now would be a pretty good time, as I've only have a couple left, especially the Golf R's. I think I have no more white ones. I only have like maybe 2 or 3 of the blue ones left. And the GTIs, it's the white GTIs that are going pretty quick. And also nothing is different about them. It's just I ran out of these backing cards, so I decided to change it up, and now it's carbon fiber, baby. Look at this carbon. Ooh. So yeah, that's about it. Drop a drop a smash, like the smash button if at any time you ha-ha, hee-hee, or hoo-hoo, because it really helps the channel more than you think, and I appreciate all the support. So go ahead and smash me. Wait, what the fuck? No, that's not what I meant. I think that's it, and catch you guys in the next one.